Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers around the world. I'm Fiona Langsharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Well, it's that time of year where we're talking about our upcoming Gold Lactation Online Conference 2024. I can't even believe I'm still saying that out loud. It's so funny. The first part of the year, it just kind of disappeared. And oh my gosh, I feel like we're almost halfway through. My good friend and colleague is back with us here. I'm so excited. Thank you, Janiya, for joining me here today. Janiya Mitnaul Williams is going to be speaking at our Gold Conference. Listen, this is really exciting. I have to say it out loud. I hope everybody's paying attention. Janiya is going to be here, and it is an open access and free. It means that everybody can come, and everyone should be attending this presentation for sure. Achieving Lactation Excellence, Unleash the Power of Caring with Impact, Equity, and Evidence-Based Support. Welcome back, Janiya. It's so good to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me back, Fiona.
I'm so excited. We had you here. It feels like a hop and a skip, but it
I
was
know.
actually, I know, right? A year ago.
Mhm.
And it was so good having you here. Great feedback. We loved you. We love working with you. But
Aw.
who doesn't? If you haven't met Janiya before, let me tell you, you're definitely in for a treat. Inspiring is one of the things that comes to mind when I think about Janiya, because Janiya, you really are the epitome of commitment to your community. That's how I have always seen you. Every time I talk to you, I learn a little bit more about the growth and what you've done.
Mhm.
And so I want you just to share just a snippet of what you're doing in your community right now.
Yeah, so right now, as you all may remember, or those of you who do not know, I direct a Pathway to Lactation training program at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. It is a historically Black college and university, and it is the first public HBCU to have a Pathway to Lactation program. So we are actually gearing up for reaccreditation. We are entering into year 5.
Oh my
I
gosh.
can't believe that we have been working on implementing the program and maintaining it for that long, for this long.
Yes.
But since then, we built a leg into the program running a community-based outpatient clinic in
Mm.
2021. And we have been able to grow that clinic to the point of having to hire individuals to oversee the clinic and opening it up an additional day starting this summer because we're at capacity. So that's a
Right.
really great problem to have,
Sure.
but it gives the students hands-on learning and we're meeting the needs of the community. And we've been able to service the community members absolutely free, no cost to them at all for being seen in our clinic. And then in addition to that, we have virtual outpatient services as well as community classes taught by our students for
Oh.
prenatal lactation education. So that's kind of what I've been busy doing this year.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, that's just crazy. In terms of achievements, I really, I mean, honestly, it's right up there. I even sense this. How does she do that? What is happening? We need to spread the word. That's the feeling I get. It's kind of like,
Uh,
wow. There's not enough.
yeah.
Clearly, we know. The fact that you're able to put an additional program in where you've actually got a clinic, you've got students teaching, like it
Mhm.
really is. Think about it. Back in the day when we were still, on the ground and we are thinking, what are we going to do and how are we going to do this? And here you are. It's really truly in fruition. So congratulations
Thank
again to you and your team and everyone that is partaking in this great movement, really. And it is really reaching the folks that it needs to. That's the whole
you. Yeah.
point,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I
Absolutely.
know that you're really, full on in all that you do. So thank you for taking the time out to come and be with us. We love it. And
Thank
your
you.
topic, I think, is, again, one of those topics that we really need to take seriously. This
Mhm.
is get down, get the work done. We're going to be able to take our practice to a new level. This is where the work starts to get hard, I think, for some people, Jania, in terms of why are we not moving forward, or why are we not
Right.
getting the things that we want? But we got to put the groundwork in. That's just,
Mhm.
it got to get those boots on and, really start working. what encourages you every day, to really jump in and talk about, this type of topic, talking about equity, talking about, really looking at taking things to a whole new level. Where do you get the energy? I have to say, where do you get the energy from? Because I know how many babies you have at home there.
Yes, yes, yes. And so I think that what keeps me pushing every day is I want to leave this world knowing that I
Mm,
made an impact, but also while making an impact, ensuring that as a lactation provider, I have exceeded the needs and just of the patients that I encounter. And
mhm.
I teach individuals how to make people feel good, right?
Yeah,
And that's one of the things that I learned very early in life. It's about how you make people feel. You're not better than someone else. And when we are in our provider caps, yes,
sure.
we do have the evidence-based information to, assist someone with their lactation, breastfeeding, chest feeding needs, but are we meeting them where they are as well? And so
Right.
marrying all the things
Hmm.
and promoting, supporting, and protecting breastfeeding and chest feeding, while making sure that our families leave feeling like they really were assisted.
Right. Absolutely. And it's so interesting. I think those words came out of my mouth yesterday. I was talking about, it isn't always about, all the small details or all the technical things that we do in our
Mhm.
profession. It is how you make people feel.
Absolutely.
That is the crux of it. So we know that they're not going to remember everything.
Right.
If we're talking about one-on-one with a client, a family right now, they're not going to remember everything. We can
Yeah.
put it in a plan for them. We can come up
Mhm.
with all the things. And we feel like we're very skilled. Like a lot of us have worked in the field for some time, and those
Mhm.
coming in, they're really hungry, to really support. And so we're very much driven in our field, but it won't be about all the technical things. It will be about how, we make folks feel.
Mhm.
Things like, barriers to care,
Oh, yes.
that is one of them. If you're
Mhm.
thinking in context of, what a barrier it is, well, we've got cultural differences,
Mhm.
we've got all those different perspectives, leadership roles, advocacy, all the things that are happening in our local communities.
Mhm.
I feel like now I feel like you might judge me now because I'm just going to say it because I feel like you in your area have everything going on. It sounds perfect and good, and it's creative. You've got all these things happening, and so shoot me down now and tell me, is it perfect? Because I feel like
Oh,
is
no,
it?
it's
No.
not perfect. It's not perfect. And that's why there's always work to do.
Right.
One thing that I do frequently is I check in with the community members that I'm serving. Are we
Sure.
meeting your needs? How can we do something better? We send
Mm,
every client that we meet a survey at the end of the visit,
right.
asking them, did we meet your needs? Did we exceed your needs? What is it that we need to work on? And then we tell
Right.
them, please let us know so we can make this better for you at your next visit or for another patient.
Yeah.
Because, lactation is not cookie cutter for
Yeah.
anyone. There are, of course, the main objectives that we have to meet, but
Sure.
you need to tailor a plan that's going to work for that specific family for their
Yeah.
concerns.
Yeah. Wow. Taking feedback. Now that's not easy because that
No.
feels like criticism, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And those are the hard things. That actually
Mhm.
could be one of the biggest barriers I feel for a lot of us, to hear feedback, not take it personally,
Right.
and then work on things. But that's what we're talking about here. This
Mhm.
is about taking our practice to
Right.
that whole new level. So I think that, if I think about your presentation, and I know you a little bit, and I know some of the things you're going to share, but I do, and I'm hungry to come and learn from you. Even though I've heard you before, I feel that when I'm with you, I can open up more,
Mhm.
even within myself. That's the first part, right?
Yeah.
But what that leads to is just opening things up for our families. I'm always keen to see what I can do in my community. I love that you ask for feedback and you
Mhm.
survey. I wonder how many people listening right now actually do that, uh, and how, or even if they are doing it, how they can improve it, because I
Right.
think that's, are you meeting the needs of your community?
Mhm.
It's such a small thing, but that must have given you a lot of asset really to look at yourselves or what you can do on the bigger picture. How has that changed things for
Absolutely.
you?
Absolutely. And so the one thing that we hear back a lot from surveys, hospital surveys go out, how was your
Yeah,
care?
yeah,
And,
yeah,
people either don't fill it out or they fill it
sure.
out and they're extremely honest and then nothing happens or changes. And so I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that we were incorporating the things that individuals were saying, hey, you could do this a little bit better, and making sure that we're putting that into practice
Mm,
almost immediately if it's something that we need to work on, let's look if there's a training course on this. But what I have learned is my background is in communication disorders or speech therapy.
right,
And we don't know how to communicate with each
right.
other very well. And so it really boils down to, tone, body language,
Mm,
making sure that you are meeting the cultural needs of an individual. Are you supposed to look this person in the eye when you're speaking with them? Who's in the room? Are you speaking to everybody who's in the room with the lactating parent? And so just making sure, I tell everyone, if you lead your lactation visits as if you were talking to your best friend, things will go
mm,
smoother for you,
wow,
because you will make sure that you're establishing, a relationship. You are not overthinking your care plan. It's
right,
just flowing. And if care is seamless and you're helping to also break down those barriers that are there for those who cannot receive correct help, and then making sure that you have a referral system set up in your
right.
community. Who are you sending individuals to for X, Y, and Z? So just giving them more than they expected again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think that this is where I'm starting to see now this picture of you're painting for us,
Mhm.
in coming to visit with you here at the conference. So again, your presentation is focused on achieving lactation excellence, unleash the power of caring with impact, equity, and evidence-based support. I know you're going to be talking about these types of strategies, how to put them into effect, how to
Mhm.
be effective, and I know your strengths really are communication. I think this is one of our downfalls in the community is sometimes we're either siloed or we've got old
Yeah.
practices. There is an opportunity here really to take things to a whole new level. And I know that you're working hard in your community, and I know it's not perfect like it is for a lot of us. There's so many things that we can
Yeah.
always do. This practice of care is still new in relative terms,
Mhm.
and there are so many things that we can do better. We want to do better. So I think that this applies to everyone, whether you're by yourself, whether you're working in a community, whether you're in a hospital or you're just starting out, there is going to be so many great things that we're going to be learning from you. So no pressure, Janiya, but
I
I
know. I'm like,
know
"Ugh."
every time you're here with us, we're all thinking, this is great. But we are a community here, and I know that you're engaging with folks and hoping that folks will come to the live and
Mhm.
engage. You and I'll have a chance to, of course, sit down
Sure.
again and have a really great opportunity to do a Q&A, and folks can come in and ask their questions as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's so good. Jamia, thank you so much. You're so
Oh.
fun to be with, but inspiring, like I said, too. But we're going to get down to some really good work here, and
Absolutely.
get some things done. And I reminded people at the top of this conversation, this is open access and free. Nobody should not be coming. And if you know somebody that hasn't heard about, this conversation yet, this presentation, please make sure that they go over to goldlactation.com. Just register for it. You can go register your seat right now. That will guarantee you a spot on the day, as well as you'll be able to come back and listen to the recording. So, I mean, it's easy peasy, right? I can't make it any easier for folks. Share the content, be there, be part of the change. That's what we want. Jania, thank you so much for joining me here today. We'll look forward to seeing you very soon online.
Thank you so much, Fiona, for having me.
And to all of our friends listening in, of course, we can't wait to engage with you. Head over to the website, as I mentioned, goldlactation.com. Super easy. Register not only for our entire conference, you can't believe the incredible content that we have this year, and of course for Jania's presentation as well. We'll look forward to seeing you online very soon. Bye bye for now, everyone.